Calling to order the regular meeting of the Wheeling Plan Commission for Thursday, March 10th, 2016. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Doorman.
I'm here.
Commissioner Saku.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
I'm Commissioner Powers. I'm here. And Commissioner Zangara.
Here.
Commissioner Sianis and Chairman Rafato are absent with prior notice.
Thank you. Ms. Jones, any changes to the agenda this evening?
No changes.
Okay, moving on to citizen concerns and comments. This is the time for anyone in the audience who would like to come up and talk about anything that is not on the dockets for this evening. I believe we have one out there. Mr. Styland.
You want me to start my stopwatch?
I'll throw something at you at the right time.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Terry Styland, 473 Briarwood Drive, Wheeling, Illinois. Just like to let you know that I attended the village board meeting last Monday to honor George Heber, one of our fine citizens, a friend, fellow commissioner for many years, and somebody who volunteered for most every job I think the village offered. It's a shame to see him go, and I will personally miss him, and I think all of you will too. Anybody know how the blood drive turned out yesterday? Did we meet the all-time record?
Not the all-time record, but we did much better than our average.
It was pretty busy when I came.
It was very successful.
Good. The other thing is I found the village board meeting to be very interesting, and I'd really suggest that all of you, if you weren't at the meeting, take a look at the video up on the website. And at an hour and 10 minutes into the meeting for the next 20 minutes, I think it was very interesting, and you might get something out of watching it. So thank you very much. Have a good evening and a quick meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, consent items. We have none tonight. So moving on to items for review. Docket number PC 16-04, the Whitley, 156 West Dundee Road, minor site plan and appearance approval of building and site modifications. Ms. Jones?
I would invite the applicant to come forward and discuss the modifications that are proposed.
You want me to discuss that? Okay. My name is Jim Moyer with SAS Architects and Planners, 630 Dundee Road, Northbrook, Illinois. So we're requesting for a review of some minor modifications that we're looking at doing in the building. These modifications are ways that we are thinking to save some money that really wouldn't affect the appearance of the building. And I'll just quickly summarize some of the modifications regarding the site plan. We're looking at relocating the generator from the west side of the rear of the building to the east side, adjacent to the maintenance garage. The reason we're doing this is the secondary feeder from the generator to the electrical room, that length, that it's expensive for the secondary electrical feeder, so we're saving the cost of that additional length. And I think it also helps on the synagogue side to move that generator. That was a topic of discussion previously with them, so we're relocating that to the other side. That maintenance garage is also getting a little bit smaller so that we can combine the two together in that location. So that's really it for the site plan. The other modification that we're talking about that would affect the elevations is we're looking at going from what was previously a casement window to a single hung window. The material is the same and the colors are the same. And the reason for the windows is we found over time they're a little less maintenance. We found with casements the cranks usually break and the hardware breaks, so the maintenance will be a little bit easier, and we're also saving some cost by going with a single hung window versus casement. And one of the other changes that we are looking at is a change to the mechanical system. We had previously we were working with a VRF system that didn't require exterior louvers. It's kind of a newer technology. It's becoming more and more popular, but we're just finding that it's really not cost effective on this project yet. I think over time it'll become more cost effective, but the numbers were coming in high, so we're going with a more traditional vertical Magic Pack system, which we use in a lot of senior living facilities. And this will require a louver on the exterior at the resident room locations. The louvers will be located mostly on the side of the bays. There's projecting bays on the front of the building, so that short bay wall is where the louvers will be. The louvers will be, we've selected colors that will blend with the material that they're adjacent to. So the majority of the louvers will be in brick. I brought some color samples here, if anybody would look. They're also on the screen. So, this is the face brick that's going on the building. And we are trying to stay with standard colors in lieu of painting in a custom color because it becomes a maintenance issue over time. So we're picking up on the darker brown range of the brick. So that would be the bronze color, and I can pass this chart around. That would go in the brick locations. And then there's a few that are in the siding locations. So we're selecting this light stone color, which matches pretty good with the siding color. So if you want me to hand these out, I'd be happy to. Or...
You guys want to see them up close?
I'm fine.
So I know these are not big changes, but we just wanted to be cautious and make sure that you're aware that we're making these changes to the building and get your approval before we proceed with making changes to the drawings.
We appreciate that. Commissioner Zangara, any questions?
Not really. I just think everything was okay. The maintenance, you made the maintenance shed smaller. Is that because of the generator moving over?
There were a couple of reasons. One of them for the generator to move over to that location and they would fit. And also we're reducing it to a size that brings us just under what it would, if it were any larger, we would be required to have sprinklers in that size. So we're under the size that requires sprinklers, so we were able to eliminate some of that cost.
Okay. And then the louvers, aluminum, with the aluminum, will they rust over time, do you think, or will, you know?
No, I've found them, especially if they're pre-finished, that finish lasts a long time and
Okay.
they won't rust.
That's all I had.
Commissioner Dorvant.
Thank you. Why did you opt for aluminum over vinyl
Aluminum,
for the louvers?
that's their standard louver. That's really the only louver that they provide with
okay.
that system is an aluminum louver.
Okay. I'm
I
just
think
really,
vinyl also tends to fade and also become brittle over time, so I
Okay.
think the aluminum's a stronger material.
I just wasn't sure what the material was, if there was an option.
It's
Okay.
not-
The other question, it appears that work seems to have ceased. Can you tell us why that might be?
The reason was there were some delays in the project. Early on, there were some site stormwater issues with MWRD that we didn't think we would have to get into, but we did have to get into that. And by the time we got that resolved with the village and MWRD, that put us further along in the construction cycle than we wanted to. So we started to run up against weather, and then we started to incur additional costs. So we thought, let's just take a break, let the winter go by, and let's look at ways where we can save some money. So as soon as we can get these changes approved, we'd like to move forward as quickly as possible getting the building completed.
Do you have a preferred date to get started? I mean, are you waiting?
We want to get started as soon as possible. What's going to take some time is, once we get approval tonight, we have to revise the drawings and resubmit that in for permit. get that permit approved, and then we can start construction right away. We'd certainly like to start going right now if we could, but we have to go through that review process.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Zaffu.
You mentioned the mechanics, the windows are easier to maintain. So the appearance of the window doesn't change from previous, are they?
The only real appearance change is you see there's a horizontal line in the center of the window, and that's typical of a single hung or a double hung window. That appearance is different than a casement. A casement wouldn't have that line in the center.
Okay.
But it's a narrow little line. Honestly, I don't even think you'd really notice it unless somebody pointed it out to you that
Okay.
the window's changed.
Great. That was the only question I had.
Commissioner Powers.
Just one quick question, more for me, trying to understand. Is each one of the units going to have a location for like a separate air conditioner unit for the air conditioning that you're proposing?
Each one of the units has its own, it's called a vertical Magic Pack unit, so it provides heating and cooling for the unit, so each unit has its own. There'll only be one, like say it's a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom, there'll only be one in that unit that will supply air into both the living room and dining room, but they do each have individual units, so they have control of their.
And what you had before, did you have one big unit on the roof to take care of everybody, and now you're breaking it down? Just so I understand.
Right, so the previous system was a VRF system, and it's, what it is there's compressors on the roof that pump refrigerant lines to, say, a fan coil unit, so that cold tube goes into the unit and blows air across there, and that's how you provide cooling. And then in the wintertime, it uses, that whole process creates heat as well, so it could work in the reverse where that hot refrigerant is coming through that line, and that goes into a coil that would blow across there and warm the unit. So that was all coming from compressors that were on the upper roof, behind the sloped roof portion.
Okay, I'm fine with the changes, and I appreciate the explanation, and I want to see it keep going too, so
Yeah,
thank
we'd
you.
like to go as soon as possible, too.
Thanks.
Okay, that leaves me, and I really have nothing further, so,
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Second?
motion by Commissioner Powers, seconded by Commissioner Dorban. Mr. Secretary?
Commissioner Powers votes yes. Commissioner Dorban?
Yes?
Commissioner Saku?
Yes?
Commissioner, let me go. Commissioner Zangara?
Yes.
And Chairman Pro Tem Johnson.
Yes. We'll have something for you to sign. Yes.
You just go right over there.
Yeah. Either way.
There are no conditions.
Yeah. One for us, one for you.
That's your copy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Approval of minutes for February 18th, 2016. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second?
I have one correction.
Okay.
I will be abstaining, however, on page 23 of the minutes, I should be listed as absent.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have enough to approve it then? Yeah, we still have
Yes.
four of us. Okay. All right. Motion was made by Saku and
Paul.
Zangara. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye, with the corrections. All right. Other business? We're really flying along here. Mr. Zangara, anything?
I have nothing, thank you.
No? Commissioner Dorban?
I just want to say I will not be here next Thursday.
There is no meeting next
Good.
Thursday.
Yay. And I don't feel like I'll
Now
miss
that you're
it.
not going to be here, we'll
Now
just
that, yeah,
cancel the
right,
whole
just
thing.
cancel it because I'm not going to be here. That's right. I appreciate
There's that,
that.
too.
I have nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Powers?
All I can say is I'll miss seeing George at the board meetings, occupying his seat, and nothing else.
All right. Just a reminder from me, daylight savings time is this weekend. And remember to get out and vote on Tuesday. Ms. Jones, anything?
I have one thing, I just want to follow up the email that I sent the Plan Commission, I think yesterday. The village board is honoring all of our village volunteers at the April 4th village board meeting, and all the Plan Commissioners are invited to attend, and there will be light refreshments.
Thank you. Mallory, anything?
Nothing.
All right. In that case, do I hear a motion?
So moved. I'll second.
Made by Commissioner Dorban, seconded by Commissioner Powers. All in favor to close the meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.